Read the description or check the comments to get a link to this page and author credit. Level 998, A Path Across Hell, and Towards Any Beyond. Disclaimer. This article features the idea of suicide as a somewhat heavy and important theme to this article. If that is something you find disturbing, uncomfortable, or triggering, either skip this video or listen to it at your own discretion. Class varied. Changing safety. Unpredictable security. Fluctuating entity count. Description. Level 998 is a blank, flat plane of a cloud-like composition. These clouds imprinted onto the floor are, for the sake of comparison, akin to a 3D texture or holographic display. Though the clouds may move based on the position and gaze of the individual wanderer, giving the clouds an illusion of depth, it is actually a solid flat surface with a texture similar to that of wool. This ground has texture vaguely similar to that of a traditional, fantastical feeling of clouds. Though the geologically flat clouds are the largest portion of level 998, no wanderer ever appears directly in this exterior plane when arriving. Unlike most levels with multiple entrances, all of level 998's entrances look identical no matter the level they are found in, and all entrances bring oneself to the same location in this level. Each entrance to level 998 places the arriving wanderer in the base floor of a concrete office stairwell. At the top of 8 flights of stairs rests a small, originally bare room. Footnote: undecorated, in this context, refers to the fact that external furniture has been implemented into this small room by the spiriters. Recently, small, hand-painted pebbles and stones have been added as a way to approximate how many have willingly journeyed to level 998. It is unknown how many stones are at the entrance to level 998's cloud plane, but the last images scavenged online showed around 38 small rocks left in a clumsy, strewed pile. Beyond the reaches of level 998's final room is the previously described flat, empty plane of cloud-imitating ground. When looking at the initial room from the outside, it will appear as a simple square room, built and styled similarly to an elevator house at the roof of a flat-topped skyscraper. The exterior is void of expected details, save for the skirting on the perimeter of the roof. Since access to the roof is impossible, it is unknown what is on the roof surface. However, knowing that a triangular skylight room exists, footnote, as can be seen in the first page in this article, it can be assumed that said skylight occupies most of the roof's area. Though the cloud layer beyond level 998's interior is for the most part unchanging, expanding out beyond approximately 30 kilometers reveals a change in the level's nature. The cloud one walks on will begin to gray, the sky progressively undergoing a similar hue shift alongside it. Coinciding with the change in color, a cold, light breeze will begin to blow around the landscape. This drops the temperature from room temperature, footnote, being 18 to 19 degrees Celsius or 68-77 degree F, to one more around 11 degrees Celsius, or around 52 degrees Fahrenheit. Though infrequent and varying, common entities such as smilers, dullers, humanoids, and non-humanoid creatures infected by Entity 17, and woodlands have previously been seen and documented online from those venturing into the depths of level 998. Acting atypically to how these species work on their home landscapes, the entities that peruse and idly wander the colder, grayer sects of level 998 are not outwardly hostile, or at the very least do not display their usual behaviors. Instead of acting in their aforementioned usual parameters, most entities in this level oftentimes do little more than moving. Most of the time, the entities appear to not even be aware of a wanderer's presence in the same local space, as most of the time, they simply can be found traveling outwards and away from the level's epicenter. Do note, however, that the entities within level 998 are not strictly safe, neutered, or anything that would render them as harmless to the average person. Aggravating the entities in level 998, being too close to them, or even being unlucky can prompt the wandering entities to attack or inflict their usual behaviors upon you. Venturing past the borders of the second, Grey Cloud territory moves any wanderer into the third, and presumably final, section of level 998. Wanderers, upon traveling a distance theorized to be about 80 kilometers, footnote, this distance does not include the pre-existing 30 kilometers of traveling in the White Cloud sex of level 998, will be greeted with a black haze, which floods the clouds on the surface, as well as those in the sky. The weather tends to intensify in this portion, turning into large gales and storms that can blow up to 29 m/s. Footnote, this statistic is not one that is entirely factual, and is cited only from online accounts of those who have been to this level. Though no images exist to confirm or deny this, the entity quantity in the blackest sect of level 998 is allegedly of a higher volume. As with the grey clouds of the previous middle zone, these entities possess qualities separate from their usual behavior, and instead follow the same outward trail as regular wanderers. Due to their heightened presence, there still exists the possibility of being attacked by them, particularly by the more animalistic entities like smilers, hounds, wretches, crawlers, plague goblins, and wranglers, all of which have proposed sightings. Footnote, entities are known to walk into the storm, just as many normal wanderers often do. As well as gales, level 998's downpour can become especially brutal in these portions as well. Harsh rain can fall in this outermost ring, sometimes being able to push and maneuver travelers who have trekked this far into the level's terrain. 15 kilometers into the Black Cloud portion of level 998 lays the edge of a large, never-ending foggy storm. The clouds are jet black and permit almost no visibility inside its thundering and raining mass. Winds within the storm itself allegedly move up to a speed of 31 m/s, and the rain falls in large, harsh, and quick droplets in a brutal, torrential downpour. From this point on, level 998 is a complete enigma. Most camera equipment and digital technology cannot survive the harsh winds and rain, with most breaking and becoming inexplicably waterlogged. Footnote, this, reportedly, is even the case with objects that are designed to be waterproofed, within minutes of entering the aforementioned harsher downpour. For as far back as 1925, an idea has cemented in the minds of backrooms inhabitants that level 998 is a harsh, grueling trial in order to reach a peaceful safe haven. Those that believe this idea and choose to trek this level are usually those who have led poor and unfortunate lives plagued by bad circumstance, illness, loss, and other physical or mental ailments that have pushed individuals to want better. The other widely accepted hypothesis for level 998 is that it leads to nowhere, and that the darkest, harshest portion of the landscape is a lethal storm which swiftly eliminates all who come within its mass. Though this hypothesis is a more pessimistic ideology, those who accept this alternative interpretation still travel to level 998 regardless. This secondary group believes that the swift death at the hand of the storm acts as a relatively easy and painless method of suicide. Footnote, something similar often happens with those choosing to venture into level 790, however the unpredictability and often painful demises recorded in this level dissuades many looking for swift exits from choosing this method. Similar to the first group of people with ailments that choose to cross level 998 for a peaceful and clear life, people often cross level 998 simply to have their death be their own decision. Most choosing this method may be old, senile, and terminally ill, or they may be individuals stricken with harsh wounds from the backrooms levels, entities, and objects. Bases, outposts, and communities. The Spiriters. Whilst not actually residing within level 998, Spiriters are an unofficial group of interest that has existed since the early days of the BNTG in 2016. Residing in the Traders' Keep until 2022 at the formation of the MEOD, the Spiriters now host their main base within level 13.1 inside of the main town. Their main goal is to unify and bring together those that are choosing to enter level 998, regardless of which interpretation they believe in. This group has flyers, which they not only give out to random passers-by, but also stapled to the town walls and on lamp posts to spread their message and try to bring the unfortunate together. After collecting enough people, a small amount of 2 or 3 people often go to one of the many levels that level 998 connects to and walk as a group towards whatever beyond their faith believes in. This group also chooses to leave individual, painted stones at the door outside of level 998, allowing their group members to paint messages, symbols, or anything they wish onto the stone to leave as a monument to their memory before passing to whatever comes at the end of this level. Though the group has generated controversy from those who morally oppose euthanasia and those who believe the group attracts unwilling individuals to sacrifice their own life, the MEOD has allowed them to keep operating. Entrances and exits. Entrances. Level 998 has a wide catalog of entrances, containing undoubtedly the most amount of catalogued entrances at an unprecedented 208. The method of entry, as described prior, is one extremely easy to find and use. Existing within the wide selection of levels listed below will be a white, metal double door that resembles those of lifts or elevators. Pushing these back will lead to the starting staircase of level 998. Footnote: it should be noted that the doors lack any form of handles or way to operate them except for pushing on their surface. Once the doors close behind you, there is no way for them to reopen to the level one has previously come from. Exits. The exit to level 998 is still an enigma to this very day, despite references to it dating back to 500 AD. Footnote: something only known by the affiliated help from the lost prior to amalgamation. It has never once been known where the edges of level 998 actually lead to. There are many hypotheses for the general and specific details about what level 998 leads to, but without concrete evidence that will likely never arrive, they will not be documented. Individuals choosing to enter level 998 are free to decide what they believe awaits them and are free to enact traveling to a hypothetical exit as long as they know the gravity of their decision. The MEOD does not technically condone individuals using level 998 to free themselves, though no parameters exist to stop people wishing to cross toward whatever great beyond lays after level 998 should they want to. For those who choose to go, we wish for peace to greet you at the end of your venture.